Tell me, therefore, which of them will love him most? How in the world does love have to do with the fact that you are a debtor and that you owe? What does love have to do with that? And then Jesus says, thou hast rightly judged, because he says, Simon says, I suppose he to whom he forgave most. And the forgiveness of her sins she had obviously obtained, but her behavior and the way she acted in such a radical way, I mean to the point where her behavior showed how much she loved Jesus. But Simon's behavior showed how much he did not love Jesus. Jesus says, the scriptures testify of me. And then Jesus says to the people, you will not come to me. Jesus says, I know you. He said that ye have not the love of God in you. How is it that people can search the scriptures and people can literally look into the holy word of God and read it, hear it preached and taught, go to a church service or some type of religious gathering, and yet and still Jesus would say, I know you, that ye have not the love of God in you, the love of God. The word today is the love of God. Jesus knows everybody. Jesus knows what's in man. He knows who loves him and he knows who does not love him. Jesus did not commit himself unto them because he knew all men. Jesus did not commit himself to people that did not love him. And you know, that's an interesting thing about love. You can't say nothing about love if you're not committed. And Jesus actually connects that actual faithfulness to commitment, and that commitment literally being to the fact that you love me. If you love me, you're going to be committed to me. Me and you going to be together, and you will never ever deviate from me. If you love me, you're going to actually be a person that will trust me. This is how Jesus sees a relationship with an individual. Now, I said that he would say, you can trust me. Now, reverse it. Can he trust you and I? But as we were allowed of God to be put in trust with the gospel, even so we speak, not as pleasing men, but God which trieth our hearts. For neither at any time use we flattering words, as you know, nor a cloak of covetousness, God is witness, nor of men sought we glory, neither of you. So Brother Paul said to the saints that we were allowed of God to be put in trust with the gospel. So when God gave you the gospel, if you say you got it, then he's trusting you with it. Okay, he's trusting that you're going to actually do with the gospel what the gospel was supposed to be used for. And people today are not doing that. Jesus had told this Simon about these two debtors. When the Lord gave you his word, he gave you the gospel. It's just like going into a business deal in the sense of, he says, I must be about my Father's business. When he gave you the word, it's just like when you got a loan, or you got a car loan, you got an apartment, you got a house, whatever, you got a credit card. You and I are debtors. But I told you already, the woman's behavior, how she was behaving, was a direct connection to her sin. There are so many people that really don't be effective in the world of doing the work of Christ, is because they would look at themselves as that, Bishop Harvey, I didn't really do nothing like you did it. I wasn't out there wilding like you, I was always pretty, I understand that. That's all fine and well. But yet and still, if you see a person who's, they've been forgiven for much, then they will love much. But if they've been forgiven a little, they will love a little, if not at all. So you have to really pay close attention, because when somebody talks about the love of God, love is based upon the fact that Jesus said, this woman, her sins are many. And when Jesus forgave this woman, he forgave her based upon her display of love towards him by bringing the alabaster box and pouring and kissing Jesus's feet and washing his feet with her tears and wiping his feet with her hair. And she ceased not to kiss Jesus's feet. And that woman loved Jesus more than Simon loved Jesus, more than Simon would even understand. And so therefore, when somebody says that they love God, if they are not faithful to him, they are not committed to him, and he can't trust them with the gospel, and they will never be a soul winner.